friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I have just got to say that it is my full belief that 2022 is going to be a great year for not only Star Wars, but it's going to be a great year for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, SWGOH is on its way. This is SWGOH 2.0 in my opinion. Be prepared. Take your vitamins, because here's what's coming in 2022. Now what I've done is I've broken it down to look at what could be coming based on the past, based on what is coming to Star Wars as a whole, and how that will apply. Now, first and foremost, let's talk about fleet. This is one of the most frustrating aspects of the game. Fleet is, we have so many capital ships, but not nearly enough ships. Like, look at this. Let me bring this up real quick. I've got this. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. We've got 9 capital ships. Then we've got, these are the rows. So we've got 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row, 5 row, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half rows of actual ships times 40. We've got, that's 8 capital ships, 44-ish ships. That's not enough. That is not nearly enough. Compare that to what our characters have. Now, I've done many videos that have talked about ships coming to the game and so on and so forth, but one of the things that we do know the Capital Games is looking at right now is what to do with these two events. What to do with Squad Arena and what to do with Fleet Arena. Now, we saw a huge change come to Squad Arena. They took away crystals. Like, that's crazy. There's no love for ships right now. And we haven't seen love for ships in or by the devs. Now, they did mention a couple of months ago, or actually a couple of weeks ago, that they're debating on what to do with this. Now, I've said this in the past. It is my belief that we are going to see more fleet nodes added, right? Not just hard and normal, but we are going to see more of these guys showing up. We may see an adjustment of ship energy, like what we've seen in the past with, or like what we see currently with our normal light and dark side nodes. But it is my belief that we are going to see some major changes to the fleet. I think that this year will be the year of ships. I think we are going to get a whole slew, a fleet, if you will, an armada of new ships coming to the game. I think it's very possible that we could see 1, maybe 2 ships every couple of months. But the reason I think that, I think we are finally going to be getting the Death Star raid. Now, it's possible, if this is the thing to come, it is likely, actually, in my mind, that they are not going to do a full ship battle. It's likely what they'll do is they'll have some kind of back and forth, right? They'll have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 like they normally do, but they will be in different bosses. They'll have different bosses. And the 4th will probably be fleet ships going up against the actual Death Star. Now, that being the case, who we're going to need? We're going to need Red 5. I mean, we've been talking about it. We want it. It will be great. Let's face it, we need more. And we need Red 5 in the game. Now, moving away from ships, we have to look at what is going on in Star Wars as a whole. And taking out, like, the fact that we're not getting any movies this year, taking out all of the books that are coming, and there's quite a few, taking out all of the comics and the other video games that are appearing, we got to take a look at the TV shows. That is where Disney and Lucasfilm have focused their attention. We've got 4 major shows that have been announced for 2022 with a potential 5th. One, obviously, we are right now Book of Boba Fett. Huge. Then we're getting Kenobi. Then Andor. Then The Bad Batch. Possibly we could get our 5th as The Mandalorian. But if you look at those 4 shows, what do you have? Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett. What are you looking at? Tatooine. You're going to have a lot of love for Tatooine. Andor, Bad Batch. What are you looking at? Rebels. Imperial timelines. I think we're going to be getting some major things happening within those two concepts. I think there's going to be a lot of Tatooine-like stuff that will show up. First and foremost, Tuskens are getting a rework. My mind is they're going to finally make the Tuskens useful. Now, part of that makes me think that there's actually someone coming that will also make the Tuskens useful. Right now, we have gotten the Boba Fett scion of Jango. Right, he doesn't have a real connection to the Tuskens as we know it, but Episode 1 kind of shows his love for the Tuskens. Now, it is my firm belief that in the Book of Boba Fett, we're going to be getting an appearance, a concept, a connection. We are going to get Asherad Het. Now, Asherad Het was a canonical character back in the day. He's now, legends, but he was a Tusken Jedi Knight. Now, there's more to it than that. That's just the simplest explanation. He wasn't actually a Tusken, but he was raised by Tuskens, or he went off into the wilderness and lived with Tuskens. And this is not like the Italian Tuskens. This was like Tatooinean Tuskens. He wasn't eating pasta as much as he was drinking like fermented, water pumpkins. With that being said, Asherad Het will most likely be added because they are focusing a lot of time on the Tuskens. We've already gotten an Omicron for the Jawas. We'll definitely get an Omicron for the Tuskens. Quite possibly get some other Tusken reworks. I wouldn't be surprised if we got the dog, the Tusken dog. I believe they're called Ack Dogs. I'm not entirely sure on that. But it's likely that we'll be getting some kind of love for the Tatooinean people. Now, it also points out with Andor, with the Bad Batch, it's very possible that we're going to get some rebel love, right? Some connection to the rebellion era. What will happen in the Bad Batch? It's very possible we could see some characters from the Bad Batch Season 2 show up. I have a feeling that it's likely or even possible that we could get another Vader or an additional Vader rework. I mean, Lord Vader in the game, yeah, whatever, fine. But actual Vader, the real Vader that we know and love, that's the one I'm talking about here. Could we get a Vader rework? I think yes. I absolutely think yes. And why do I think yes? Well, remember when Rogue One came out and they were like, "Oh, let's make some small changes. Let's do some tweaks here." And then we got this crazy powerful no escape feature, and they tweaked him around. This is my Vader. Look at him. I mean, he's spinning in circles. He's so pretty, right? This is the real Vader, not Anakin, not the other Anakins. This one, right? Not Lord Vader, Anakin. This is Lord Vader, right? Could we see a tweak to him? Could we see an Omicron added to him? I think it's possible. Or could we see a pre-Imperial or post-Imperial, during Imperial Vader, right? Working with the Inquisitorius, the Inquisitors. Now, I think it's very possible that we could see the Inquisitors coming to this game. We've talked about it for a while. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of connection to the Inquisitors. I think it's very possible, especially since Kenobi is supposed to have an Inquisitor show up, right? Taking it from comics to cartoons to live action. That would be dope. Back to video games, seeing the Inquisitorius would be awesome. But additionally, with Andor, I think our Rogue One team's going to get some love. I think they're going to get some reworks that will make them effective in different areas of the game. Will it make them awesome? Will it make them... No, it won't. But it'll make them useful. It'll make them... decent. There's a lot of love to be had, or a lot of rework to be had in or for the Rogue One team, and I think it's on its way. Now, finally, I mean, let's bring it up, guys. I mean, let's talk about this. The last thing and the most important thing that everyone's curious about: Galactic Legends. Now, we've seen a drop-off in Galactic Legends. They started off with 4, right? They gave Rey and Kylo, they gave C, and then Jedi Master Luke, right? Those 4 were pretty close in succession. Then a year passes-ish, or the new year came, and they gave us Kenobi and Lord Vader. Those were the only Galactic Legends we got this year. Now, it is my belief that they are ramping up for a new Galactic Legend. It is also possible and likely that we are not going to get a Force-using character. All 6 of our Galactic Legends are Force-using, and let's face it, guys, some of the most important Galactic Legends in Star Wars, or those characters that became legends in Star Wars, didn't have the Force. Boba Fett is love. He is loved, guys. He is a great character, and a lot of people are just excited about him. It is my belief that we are going to be getting characters like unto that. Smugglers, scoundrels. We will still get a light side. We will still get a dark side. We could possibly get 4 again, but I believe that by April, we will get our first announcement of our first GL, and that will be Jabba the Hutt. Or it will be someone akin to a Jabba-focused character. Now, the reason I say Jabba, guys, is, like I said, Tatooine. They're going to have a lot of Tatooine love. Look at the factions that they've been focusing on. Scoundrels. I think what they're doing now is they're building towards their next GL, right? The book of Boba Fett is Boba's living in the shadow of Jabba. I mean, Jabba's dead. I mean, that's not a spoiler or anything like that. He's just trying to deal with life after Jabba, right? He has some big shoes to fill. I'm sorry. But in reality, I mean, that's where our focus is, guys. They're going to be getting some Tatooine stuff. So Jabba makes the most sense. Now, who would be a light side counterpart to that? Hondo. Now, as much as I love Hondo, as much as I think Hondo would be a great character, I'm not entirely sure they would make him a galactic legend. My mind, he totally is. What I think is possible is if they do want to bring it all in together, connect it all together, I think it's possible we could see a character like Maz Kanata show up. Now, depending on where they go, because Maz was an absolute scoundrel, right? She was not necessarily a good person. She was a smuggler. She just happened to like light-sided people more often than she happened to work with the dark-sided characters. So I think, again, very possible that we could see someone like Maz Kanata. Now, again, I really, really like the idea of them bringing in Hondo Ohnaka, simply because I've talked about it for a while, and they've hinted, they're like, well, we want him in, we think that he could be in, right? But right, why are they holding off? Part of that main reason, part of my thinking is they're going to bring it back to Maz Kanata. Now, I would love again to see Hondo, but my thought is that. Now, if that's the case, our first character could be announced late March, early April, just like they did this last year. They announced General Kenobi late April, early May. We could see the same concept, everything building towards that. That's why Fennec Shand is now farmable. That's why all of these scoundrel characters are being focused on. All of that's very possible. Now, Marquee characters, there are tons of Marquee characters that could show up. I think that we will start getting Marquee characters as some of these ships. I think it's very possible that we could get something like Fennec Shand's ship introduced into the game. There's so many characters out there that they could introduce, that they probably will. And Marquees will probably keep in time with the stuff that's happening in the Book of Boba Fett. Then they will probably keep in time with some stuff that's happening in the Bad Batch. So with that being said, guys, what do you think is coming in 2020? I think this is going to be a great year for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I think it sounds like, it feels like Lucasfilm is letting them off the chain. And if that's the case, oh my goodness, be prepared. Be prepared for so much. But what are you prepared for, and what are you hoping for? This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Check out the links in the section below, and check out for free audiobooks. Check out for the Going Nerdy swag store. Check out for all links and all things. This has been Thaddeus. As always, my friend, like, subscribe, and share. And remember, smile and stay nerdy.